So I am officially 1 year away from turning 35. And being totally honest, I have absolutely no idea what I am doing. We lost the plot for the plan so long ago. It's funny to think we ever even had a plan. Not only do I not have a plan, nobody else has a plan for me either. I am officially the only person in my entire family to have taken the life trajectory that I am currently taking, meaning being queer, unmarried, 34, living in a major city, freelancing full-time as a creative, and being a woman on top of all that, just for funsies. So there is literally no map. There is literally no plan. I am so deeply making this up as I go. But I figured if I'm making this up as I go, so are a lot of you. So I want to start a new project to hopefully turn my struggle into a little bit of fun, an excuse to actually get back on the creative horse, which I've been bad about lately, and maybe help you all that are probably going through a very similar thing feel a little bit better. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. So I'm starting this vlog project, which I am going to call Survive Till 35. Really what this is part vlog, part life experiment, part self-therapy session. I'm going to start this year because I feel like 35 is this like massive life milestone where you're supposed to have everything figured out. When I was 20, I pictured 35 as like, obviously I will be incredibly financially successful. I will have everything I want in my career and everything will be perfect because 35-year-olds, after that, what do we have? Like, you know, death? I don't know. But in all seriousness, I do think we assign a lot of meaning to that milestone. I think 30 was huge for me, but I turned 30 in a pandemic, so time didn't exist. But 35 feels huge and like supposed to be where everything just comes together. And I'm coming out of one of the biggest creative ruts of my life. So I kind of want to just believe in the idea that it will, in fact, get better. And by forcing myself to actually examine my life on a day-to-day basis, I feel like this will bring me more clarity and more understanding and more appreciation for the work that goes into leading up to this big life milestone. And then something I realized I really missed was during the pandemic is when I made the bulk of my content. And so much of that content effectively was sharing big portions of my day-to-day life with all of you. A lot of it was done through humor, but I really liked that transparency and that like, day-to-day interaction with my audience. And so this is partly me wanting to capture that feeling again and bring you all back into my life and share the journey alongside of you, because truly I've had one of the best communities online, and I want to let you all back in after kind of being away for a while. So my goal for this is to be a little bit of self-reflection, a little bit of maybe advice, and definitely inevitable amounts of chaos. So with 35 marking this age where you're like, where I want to be, am I crushing my career goals? Am I with the love of my life? Am I living my best life in this city? But those things never happen overnight. They are always this process of learning and growing and struggling to get there. So the goal here is to, instead of focus on the outcome, to focus on the work that goes into moving towards the life that I want. So here's the plan. Every month I'm going to focus on kind of a different theme of what I'm trying to tackle as I try to like build towards these different goals I have for the year. So 1 month might be about my work in the film industry and my development as an intimacy coordinator, and another month might be about trying to work towards specific financial goals, and another might be about my mental health and my relationships. And you never know, one might be about how many friends I lose to punt. But the goal is to make these a combination of like real life living as well as kind of behind the scenes of what it's like to develop my career, and then just like reflections of what I'm learning along the way. I'm being so vulnerable, guys. Guys, you have no idea. This is the most vulnerable thing I have ever done, but it's been tugging at me for months, and this feels like such a necessary journey to go on with you all. And to be clear, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to turn out. So I'm going to go ahead and put the disclaimer of this is very much just what I'm doing and the lessons I'm learning. This is not in any way a how-to guide, but it's more a chance for me to observe my life a little bit more lovingly, to appreciate my own process, and then hopefully if you're somebody who's either approaching your 30s or in your 30s and you're feeling very similar to me, to offer some amount of solidarity and some amount of seeing a bit of yourself reflected back. And I personally know the massive value in that from my own experiences. So I'm hoping to kind of offer that to all of you. And in that vein, I don't want this to be a one-way conversation. So if you are somebody that is right where I am and you're in that like last year leading up to 35, or you're just in a different place in your life and you've got a big life milestone coming up, pop it in the comments, let me know. I truly want to start building our community over here on YouTube the way we were able to build it over on TikTok, and really make this a conversation and an experience that we share together. And if you have ideas or things you want me to try, please also leave them there. That being said, within reason, skydiving is not off the table, but it's a future thing. So keep it sane. So if this sounds like something you're into, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the community over here, make sure to like this video so more of our panicking early to mid 30s can find it, and hit the little bell for notifications so that you know when the new video drops. I'm terrified, but also very excited. So I hopefully will see you on the next one. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Bye! I went to film school, so I should know how to set up a camera. Should have majored in business.